1월 30일 정왕교회 Walk in Love 1 John chapter 4 verse 7 through 11. Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. This is how God shows his love among us. He sent his one and only Son into the world that we might live through him. This is love, not that we loved God, but that he loved us and sent his Son as an atoning sacrifice for our sin. Dear friends, since God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. The Gospels arrived here, and as a result, this has experienced enormous growth, and individuals have received many wonderful blessings by placing their faith in Jesus Christ. They live by faith and glorify God at church, but outside they do not live as the salt and the light to the world. They would rather live as ordinary persons rather than a believer. Behold, let us love one another, for love is from God. 1 John chapter 4 verse 7 through 8. The love of Jesus is great, holy, and genuine because he chose to leave his heavenly throne and come to this lowly earth, as man, and gave his life to save sinners. Love is life. Love is powers. Love is strength, and love is creations. Love is not about possessions, but about itself. This is why love is the most beautiful thing. One day Jesus washed the feet of his disciples when they were quarreling with one another. He washed their feet one by one, but when it was Peter's turn, Peter was confused. Peter was uncomfortable because it was he who should have been cleaning Jesus' feet. So Peter said, Lord, you cannot wash my feet. He probably wanted to hear Jesus say, yes, Peter, you are smart. Then Jesus said, if I do not wash yours, you cannot share with me. John chapter 13, verse 8. That's right. God gave God's grace and love, mercy, and bless or supernatural. The lawyers came to Jesus and asked, teachers, what should I do to inherit eternal life? Jesus said, what is written in the law? How do you read it? The lawyer answered, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your souls, and with all your strength, and with all your minds, and your neighbors as yourself. And he said to him, do this, and you will live. And then the lawyer said, and who is my neighbors? Jesus then told him the parables of the Good Samaritan. The road down to the Jericho from the Jerusalem was dangerous because there were many dens and robbers. Even during the days, one could not safely pass the roads alone because there were so many robbers. A man was going down that road, and he fell among robbers, and who stripped him and beat him, and leaving him half-headed, half-dead. At the times, a Jewish priest passed by the beaten man. Although the man was crying out for help, the priest pretended like he did not see the man and left. The Levite, who was proclaimed to be religious and helped priest, passed by the beaten man as well. However, he passed on the other side of the road, pretending as if he did not see the beaten man. Samaritans then come along. The Samaritans have been historically discriminated against by the Jews. But when the Samaritan saw him, he had compassion. So he stopped by the beaten man and dressed his wounds with oil and cloths. Then he took the man to an inn and paid the innkeeper, saying that he will repay him when he comes back if it costs more. Then Jesus asked the lawyers, which of these three do you think proved to be a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of the robbers? The lawyers said, the one who showed him mercy, the Samaritans who showed love. And Jesus asked him that you are right, you go and do likewise, and you will live. We need to walk in love. Those of much need to sympathize with those with leaders. The wealthy must not treat the poor shamefully. Those who are wearing nice clothes should not treat those who are clothes poor cheerfully. When you become successful, you should not laugh at someone who fell. Christian life is giving others through love by eating less, spending less, or sharing in hunger or pain. Then how can we walk in love? First of all, we ought to be concerned for our neighbors. Then say, that the opposite of the love is not hatred but indifference. That's right. Love is sacrifice. Perfect love must be followed by the concrete actions. The love of Jesus is unique, and this agape love is great because he showed his love.